Hello boys, girls, those in between, and welcome back to another episode of Watching Gumball shout slurs at Dream on Twitter. Genuinely, if you told 10-year-old me I would see Gumball faded in a Tesla shouting homophobic slurs at a Minecraft YouTuber, I'd probably do nothing. I'd keep watching Yoti Slayer Legendary Weapon Guides, but still it's kind of a shock. This is truly the darkest timeline. But apart from that absolute mystery, we are back on Black Ops 1. Thank goodness. Finally I figured out how plutonium works, so it's not just going to be Modern Warfare Remastered on this channel anymore, which I'm very happy about. While I love that game, the gunplay is so slow in my opinion, but anyway, expect some Modern Warfare 3 coming your way soon. Last thing, before I get onto what I actually want to talk about, today's going to be a double upload. This video is going to be a lot less serious than the second one. But I didn't want to come to you with something just flat out sad, so I thought I'd at least have, my classic separate video of fake deep shit. But to get to today's point, I've been thinking about phones recently. Oh my god, phones bad? Did you know phones bad? Yeah, phones bad. I think we all know that by now. But anyway, I listen to audiobooks very regularly, but only with a very specific kind of book, because let me tell you, trying to listen to an audiobook of Beyond Good and Evil by Nietzsche does not work. You just end up zoning out. You take none of the information in. Regardless, one thing I've noticed about that is that holding something seems to have its own enjoyment. And to give a better example of what I mean, I'll say like vinyl. In an age where you can stream lossless music that's the highest quality possible, it makes no sense to have and listen to vinyl. It's inefficient, it can break, it requires a lot of care comparatively to listen to over and over again because you have to worry about things getting worn down. But it's weirdly human. If you're like me and you have vinyls and you like playing with them, you know that there's nothing better than like holding the sleeve and like reading through all the information that's available inside. And while I could stream it and just find that information on Genius, I don't. Why is that? And it's not like I'm a super music nerd either. Like, of course I love music, I listen to music all the time, but I'm not Anthony Fantano. I don't criticize music, I haven't made a career talking about it, I haven't tried to learn an instrument. Well, I did try to learn an instrument, but it was a phase. But it seems like the lack of physicality is the problem. Ever since the creation of human history, if you think about it, up until like the invention of the MP3 and similar concepts, everything that we interacted with had a level of physicality to it. We're now in a fully digital age, which means you can make music without even touching an instrument, which when you sit back and think about it is kind of nuts. The art of touching something makes it seem special to me. Don't take that out of context. I don't know why that is, but I guess what I'm doing right now is trying to figure that out. When you get home from work after a long day and you sit down on the sofa, bed, chair, whatever you find yourself in day to day, and you open your phone to TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, you will find the hour that you spend on it passing in seconds. I mean, I did that this morning. I woke up at like 7 o'clock this morning and I looked up and it was like 9:30. All I'd done is eating breakfast and just watch YouTube videos. But people would often label that as relaxing, right? But like, what calm did you experience? I've noticed people say that they're relaxing, but all that means is that they're like scrolling in TikTok in bed. Which, do you feel relaxed? I'm not trying to be on a high horse here. I can promise you I'm equally as guilty as this as I've just said, but what I've recently realised is that you can only have a certain amount of action in your day-to-day life. To explain what I mean, you have a cup of sauce, and in the words of Goo Wop himself, you can get lost in the sauce. You have work, family commitments, extracurricular stuff such as the gym or coursework, balancing friendship groups, and that requires a lot of decision-making day-to-day to run smoothly and optimally, which of course you want, because if a friendship group isn't running smoothly, then that's going to create other problems, right? Digital actions seem to have this same draining effect too. I'm no psychologist, but I know a little bit about digital marketing and I've read at least a few Tumblr quotes, so you could say I'm a pretty smart guy. Everything you see online is shown to you in a way that makes you question checking it out or not. We look at things and try and figure them out. We stare at a pile of clothes on our chair at night as we're trying to figure out, okay, is that literally the devil from the Bible or is it my H&M hoodie? That's one decision. But scrolling through Instagram is a million decisions. Not only is your brain looking at tiny colourful dots and trying to make an image out of it, it's trying to process what actions you might need to do. I don't mean like share, comment and subscribe. I mean, what's this thing I'm looking at? How am I seeing it? This floods your brain. You can only focus on so many things at once, and Subway Surfers gameplay is not in the DNA, boys. You've probably heard this before, but regardless, if you've been on TikTok or any other social media recently, what have you been looking at? Try and recall the last 5 TikToks, shorts or reels that you watched. You might be able to, but I'm willing to bet that most can't. And that's because your brain is absorbing so much information, you just become stressed and unfocused. I think this is why physical things such as books and vinyls give us a different feeling, to go back to what I was originally saying. It's not overstimulating. Our brains can grasp it much better because it's physically tangible, it's real, we're used to real things. From what I know from a digital marketing perspective, things are often valued in terms of statistics, SEO, and how that will affect it. Even things such as graphic design. While graphic design is art within itself, a lot of it is to do with like algorithms and stuff like that. Again, I'm not an expert, but from the very little that I know. For example, SEO. SEO stands for search engine optimization. And what this is optimizing every single thing about your website to function within the search engine properly. SEO is things like keywords that are put in the page title, the URL, meta descriptions, but at some point that then translates to web design, because you want your web design to be able to, one, hold the keywords in a decent context without making it look like you are just spamming keywords in your website. But two, you want to optimize your graphic design and your UI for what's going to be most pleasurable to the person who's using it, while also being able to do all of these things like putting photos and stuff in like that you can then use to provide keywords in the background. So when you think of it like that, every single thing that you look at online is tailored for you to look at it, which becomes really stressful after a while, because you're essentially just being bombarded with sensory information constantly, which is not good. I mean, it's not bad either, it's just a lot. And I think a lot of the times we don't realize how much it is, and how much stress probably comes from that. We'll blame it on other stuff like, oh, this is happening. It's like, yeah, but dude, you also just spent 3 hours on Instagram today. Like, that's probably not going to help you. And it might seem like I'm getting on a high horse, and I don't mean for it to, but yeah, I think that's it. To end this off, next time you find yourself stressed, overworked, underpaid, and burned out, do something physical, and do it with love. Don't rush it. Small things like that can really seem to make the difference for me. So for example, when I'm cooking, I always make my own sauce, and this sounds really weird, but I found that just getting, like a tin sauce and throwing it in, even if it probably tastes better because I'm not that great of a cook, I always make my own sauce because it's just a little bit of love and care put into it, and it makes you enjoy it more, and you enjoy the end result more because you know you've put more into it. And yeah, sometimes I don't have the time for that, but I always try to. Or like in the morning, get ready slowly instead of rushing. Don't quickly iron your shirt and then throw it all on and run out the door. Like, just do everything slowly, make sure everything's done. It gives me a certain sense of groundedness, which really helps me throughout the day. Anyway, my chums, if you will, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and you know the drill by now. Have a good night, pull over if you get tired, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.